for them. But Fnatic is a team that likes to target ban quite a lot. They play all the standard meta picks, but H2K should be able to do the same.
Should be able to. They've taken Olaf away from Rainover. If you remember back to a couple of weeks ago, Rainover stole Dragon with an undertow.
And then you ban it.
And now it's banned. Last week, however, Rainover played Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
Over the Olaf.
Rainover is the only jungler in Europe that has managed to make a third tier 1 jungle pick for himself in that Olaf here. He picked it so many times when Rek'Sai was open, when Gragas was open, because he trusted in his team that they could snowball the early to mid game, and when Olaf obviously hits that late game, he becomes such a monster, and Rainover would just be this single threat very often in terms of diving the enemy AD carry. So we have to see. I expect just Rek'Sai Gragas for him instead. I mean, I don't think he's gonna mind too much.
There's no way to ban out Fnatic if you look at all the threats across multiple roles. Last time these teams met, I feel Fnatic somewhat baited Oduwamne into playing the Rumble. He was performing exceptional up until Fnatic completely shut it down. Rumble is the most banned champion against Fnatic. 9 out of their previous 12 games.
Okay, Gragas.
And we'll see whether or not Fnatic want to consider it. Gragas up, Echo up, Rumble up.
Yeah, so
Alistar up, Sivir up.
With these two AD carry, jungle bans from H2K, and now especially with Sivir being banned away, you would normally just say, okay, Gragas should be the first pick, then they're setting up for it, the last one of their tier 1 junglers available. Fnatic had the choice, do we want to leave Sivir open and try and say, hey, whichever you don't take of Gragas Sivir, we pick it up on our side. But also we have seen new junglers come in, and we talked about Echo jungle earlier, being very strong among some of the teams here in Europe. At least we've seen Evelyn quite a few times. There's a fairly large pool of junglers, but Gragas will stand out now with these two bans.
If Gragas is first picked for H2K, the only other jungler that Rainover has played is Evelyn, and he did it once. One thing that we briefly entertained last week was if there is anybody on Fnatic who if you squeezed, how do they perform? It was Rainover.
Yeah.
He had one.
It has to be Gragas first pick. It has to be Gragas. I mean, yeah, there we go. It is locked in. When you ban two junglers, if you didn't take the Gragas here, those two bans wouldn't make any sense at all for H2K. Also with Fnatic banning with Sivir, I wonder if H2K were trying maybe to bait them to leave it open so they could first pick and say, okay, you get the Gragas instead. But for now, Fnatic has been happy banning out purely the bot lane. We've seen this before. Last time they played H2K, they banned Kasing. All 3 bans were to Kasing or towards him. He locked in an Annie instead and didn't really have much of an impact on the game. Now, Echo is open. We've seen it as flex pick. Oh, it should be a flex pick for Fnatic. Overall, just like Alistar would be one of the go-to picks, but we also know Fnatic likes to change up what they play, and it's very difficult to predict.
It really is. However, we touched on Rumble. We touched on how many times have been banned. You have to anticipate H2K are aware of this.
Yeah.
Because we were. Corki, the next top tier AD carry. We've seen 2 Graves today. What does Hyuna want to run now? That he's run Jinx multiple times as well.
Whenever H2K is in a situation where Kalista Sivir is banned, they like to go towards the Jinx and run these protect the Jinx compositions. So like Janna, Gragas as disengage for them. But you need to be careful running too much disengage against a poke comp, which Fnatic is already slightly building towards. We know Jace is going to be a contested pick between Ryu and Febiven. And with the AP top lane and with the Corki, it's perfect for Fnatic to lock in a Jace. H2K might look to take it away from them instead. But then if you run this protect the AD carry composition with the Jinx, you might really rely heavily on physical damage, which can become another problem for you.
Couple seconds left in this next round. H2K, where will they go?
Shen support.
Shen and Gnar. Earlier today, we talked about how, I believe it's North America, have run Shen a couple times in the support role, with the Shadow Dash taunts into flashes, with Kasing losing access to Thresh, even though Janna's available. I just want to throw it out there, Kickers also ran Gnar in the jungle. I'm not expecting it because of how good Oduwamne is on Gnar.
There's a Gragas too.
I'm just saying.
Alright. Shen support.
We've seen Gragas top as well.
Yeah, true. I'm going to say it's Shen support coming in for Kasing. It can work as well in terms of protecting.
Is this not a protect the Jinx? If you put like a Lulu mid and then Jinx?
I mean, yeah, sure. If you add in a Lulu mid as well. Shen, though, for me, is a support that really shines at setting up plays across the map, obviously as a global with his ulti. So to me, it looks more like we want to make sure Oduwamne can have a fantastic strong game on this Gnar. He can become a one-on-one threat with like Black Cleaver, and then once you start pushing down the waves, the Shen can TP in and you can start tower diving, and yeah, I saw it.
We're going back, way back, to when nobody really expected Fnatic to be good. At the beginning of the spring split, it was the Rengar-Xerath combo, if memory serves.
It was.
And it was comboed with Lissandra top. Back when I thought Fnatic had a limited champion pool. And Rainover, he really showed up. But we've not seen Rengar work particularly well in summer. Shook ran it once. I wasn't blown away. But this also means if you run Jinx, that's a easy to get to champion.
The problem for Rengar right now is like he's fairly predictable in how he wants to play. Teams have really learned how to deep ward against him. at the same time, he's obviously an all-in champion. Once you go in, you're not going to get out. I mean, you're going to go in, you're going to try and blow up this one target or lock down the target for the rest of your team. So there's not a whole lot of a comeback ensured if you are a Rengar and you start falling behind. H2K though, after locking in that support, Shen decided to say we don't want to run this complete protect the Jinx composition. Instead, very safe picks for them. Victor is one of the better blind picks in the mid lane because he has very few bad matchups. Lucian as well in the bottom lane can handle himself, has a dash versus this Rengar. So for me, honestly, this comp for H2K is so much about what Odo Amne can do in this Gnar. If he becomes a split pushing threat, we know Gnar does well into Rumble. You can build early Hexdrinker, you can even go for Black Cleaver, and Rumble will do nothing to you in the one-on-one lane. Also felt difficult for Rumble to set up the gank properly against the Gnar. Then suddenly H2K has a split pushing threat in Odo Amne. They have wave clear on the Lucian, on the Victor, and you can play around that really effectively, and then all you have to worry about is this Rengar pick in terms of creating picks for Fnatic, something they love to do. I wonder if they want to go Jace though and pair it up with this Corki for this massive mid-game spike.
And it looks like it will be that. I mean, that was where Febiven earned the title of European Sniper, when he was comboing his Xerath with some of the pick power that Raynova had provided. A little bit more aim required on a Jace than a Xerath.
What is a Rengar doing in a poke comp, in a siege comp? I really want to see how Raynova is going to play this one out. Everything else for Fnatic makes perfect sense. You have fantastic mid-game power spike in Jace and the Corki together, and the Rumble obviously for teamfights. Rumble also works really well in these comps here where people have to engage on you. You land down that ulti, and it makes it very, very difficult for H2K to then engage in. But the Rengar itself is going to be probably more about tower diving with Yellowstar. Honestly, Yellowstar going in first, then Rengar follow, lock down that one target, and you just blow it up. We have seen how Fnatic can coordinate a snare, some CC.
Hero the dream. H2K want to stop Fnatic short. They couldn't do it last time. We're loading onto the Rift for their second attempt here in summer. Fnatic looking to equal the longest regular season winning streak of 13 wins undefeated, set by Cloud9. It feels like a long time ago.
Definitely not the same team we see today. That's for sure. And H2K obviously looking to upset Fnatic, be the first team to shut them down. Let's see what happens here. Raynova and Yellowstar sneaking down. They might just want to invade in near this tri-bush and just move around the corner with it. But nobody's waiting. The H2K has just put a ward and said, okay, we're not going to stand and wait here. They're moving in now.
I was really hoping that they would sit around for the level 1 face check. Tri-bush ward from H2K means they're not at risk. Will spot all of Fnatic. How do H2K respond?
So remember, H2K was just waiting in the bush. Fnatic just know where they are. They might walk straight into them. Let's see how many members are around. Only Yanin and then Rio on the other side. We might see a collapse on Raynova. Look at him.
He's taunted. Raynova's in trouble. He gives up first blood to Odo Amne's Gnar.
Might not be over yet.
Mooney's trying to escape. Kasing saving up the energy. Yellowstar's put a point into Pulverize. Lulex has flashed over the wall. Yellowstar down in trouble. Taunt not going to be needed or used. 2-0. H2K's ward works out beautifully.
And Fnatic with the very greedy invade. They had zero information on where H2K were hiding their members, or if they were even hiding in that jungle, and just walked in there, split up even. Raynova took his own route around and just easy pick up for H2K. Shen is such a fantastic pick at level 1 with his taunt. Perfect start. And I mean, Odo Amne, can you ask for a better start?
The man that was completely ruled out of the game the last time H2K was played against Fnatic is now literally gifted 2 kills. A great ward and a great interception of Fnatic means Odo Amne is now starting with a Ruby Crystal and that Crystalline Floss. You can see the stats down at the bottom. Fnatic completely outplayed H2K in that game.
Yeah.
Now they've got hard mode. They played from behind against Giants last week. Fnatic have to do it again this week.
And Odo Amne also gets a standard lane, which is so important for him in terms of getting towards Hexstring, get towards the Black Cleaver, become this massive split pushing threat that Fnatic will have so few answers to. It's going to be something like Raynova trying to come in with a gank and like try and 2v1 shut down the Gnar. But if H2K is playing the map correctly, you're going to have like a Shen teleporting in, and quickly it's a 2v2. Shen shuts down so many of these aggressive plays you can make, and he's just so good at reacting on the fly. Very often when you play with a Rengar, it's about pre-planning your plays. You need to time the minion waves correctly so you can either go in for the counter gank or you know you can gank safely and not get counter ganked by the Gragas. So that's going to be the key as well. We talked about this in Champ Select. Rengar is an all-in champion. Once you're going in for that gank, you're not getting out. So if Gragas is waiting there to counter gank you, well, you're going to die.
All of H2K were waiting to counter gank Fnatic, and they made it count. 2 kills on the board. With Yellow Star's death, that's only the second time this split Yellow Star's been killed before 10 minutes. Let that sink in for a second. 13 games, and that's only the second time before 10 minutes. There's a massive minion wave built up between Hyana and Kasing. Kasing Shen's going to throw out some of those Vorpal Blades. Not going to offer a whole lot more harass than that, as Yellow Star and Reckless are doing a pretty good job of farming underneath the turret.
And just also good scouting from H2K. In that level 1, we saw they place the ward in the tri-bush, and then they moved and they all stayed around the bot side jungle. They didn't just start invading into Fnatic's jungle or anything, no, they waited. They saw Fnatic on that ward, he said, okay, perfect, they're walking into the trap. Kept it cool, waited for the face check, basically, and then they pulled it and they got the 2 kills. So very, very smart start for H2K, and we have seen Fnatic very often go for these early invades.
And what it does mean is Odoamne up in that top lane has got the makings of that Phage very early on. He doesn't have a big advantage over Huni for the time being.
Oh, except 2 kills.
2 kills, of course. And of course, there's your knock. 4 games, 12 KDA. Rumble, he's been allowed it once, banned out 9 times. Obviously, a few times it has played, it's been phenomenal. 4-1 and 7 was the last stat that Huni picked up, and he's going to have another phenomenal performance to bounce back against this already fed No.
And H2K knows there's not a whole lot of pressure from a 3-6 Rengar, so they can safely sit and push up the lanes. We saw the bottom lane, how they were playing aggressive from the start. Top lane as well, Odoamne is always looking to try and trade with Huni. If Huni uses his harpoon on blasting a minion, Odoamne is going to just instantly start trading back with him and win out, because again, he knows Rainova is not really going to be able to do a whole lot early on. And now it's going to be about, can H2K keep tracking the Rengar in the jungle? Because standard lane-wise, just 1-on-1 or 2v2 lane, H2K is going to be more than fine all throughout the early to mid game. They don't need to worry about those lanes. All they have to worry about is, can the Rengar pull off some ganks? So Lulex, his job is tracking Rainova over and over. He's already spotted him now. You see here on the map, and he now knows, okay, he's level 5. And then you start timing it, okay, how many camps does he need? And you start waiting for that potential level 6.
Bevavin goes to the skies, puts the hammer down on Ryu, knocks him back. Rainova was hanging about there in the middle lane, but does not have access to Thrill of the Hunt. You see that taunt not connecting just yet. Rainova looking for an opportunity.
He's pushing out the wave for February, so you can go back. He's out of mana. You want to back fairly early on the Jace to get your tier anyway. So call in your jungler. Tell him no taxes, of course. And just push out the wave and look at you get all the fun.
Of course, for Rainova, it's the first time we've seen him on Rengar this split, but it's not the first time we've seen him this year. He's actually played 5 games in spring, 4 wins, 1 loss to be shown. Interestingly, it was a loss to the Copenhagen Wolves. But look at Lulex up top.
Look at the setup here. The mini wave is pushing down to Odoamne, so Huni cannot farm because there's the risk of Lulex waiting around. So he's reading the situation correctly, but he will always lose a little bit. Odoamne can just block this next minion if he wants to. He's just going to give it all in the very end to Huni. But smart play from both top laners. One is trying to bait it. The other one is reading the situation, saying there's a high chance of the jungle being Lulex, even using his sweeper, being like, is there a ward here? What's going on?
Odoamne does not get any Oscars or Emmys this time around. Huni playing it safe. He is down 8 CS. The minion wave pushing into him, and we've seen that Odoamne is back. Hex Drinker already completed. Double Ruby Crystals secured. Rainova now has access to Thrill the Hunt. Also has those Moby Boots picked up. So H2K may get a kitty cat surprise if Rainova can find the correct opportunity. And with the top wave resetting, I think, going to push towards Odoamne, that opportunity is not going to be there for a long time. For a while, I think I'll use that term instead.
Yeah. Again, you always have to respect where Lulex can be on the map. He's obviously going to get his own level 6, and as we mentioned before, it's about tracking this Rengar. Look at his early side stone for him. Didn't upgrade his enchant. Instead, Rainova He's going for Odoamne now.
Gonna look for the half. Odoamne knows, gets rooted in place. Equalizes burning Odoamne. The follow-up bowler.
Shen's
United's coming out from Kasing. He has an ignite. That's a two-man taunt. Flash away from Rainova. H2K have got 3 kills. Kasing and Odoamne one more. Mega Nars about to come out. Odoamne needs one more auto attack. He's saving it. The taunt connects. Mega Nars gonna pop. Hooney's in trouble. He gets barred against the wall. 4-0 H2K.
We talked about this. Support Shen is so good at shutting down these aggressive plays here. H2K, they know there's not a single lane that's gonna lose on its own. It's all about Rainover. And with these early kills for Kasing, the fact he had a great laning phase, didn't have to go back or anything, he got level 6 instantly. Turns the gank around top lane. Fnatic really in massive problems. They used so many cooldowns for this one. Rengar ulti, double flashes. And Shen support says, hello, my top laner is not gonna die today. Last time Odoamne was completely shut down. This time 2 kills, 2 assists. And then you can just spend all your money on Ruby Crystals.
Fantastic performance in the early game for H2K. Great response play. Anticipating some of the focus that Odoamne may be getting. Actually anticipating that duo of Rainover and Hooney.
Yeah.
You know they're going to hold hands. You know they're going to look for kills.
And I just want to go back to playoffs in the spring split. H2K played Fnatic as well in the semi-final. H2K pulled out Shen top for Odoamne 2 games in a row. It was supposed to be one of the counters to Fnatic's playstyle there. How they were always looking for picks, looking for teleport plays, and they could counter that with a global. Managed to win one of the games, also thanks to Hooney playing Lee Sin top with Cinderhulk, and was completely useless, but
Fisher, we did see an equalizer coming out from Hooney, but Fnatic were aware something fishy was up. Deep wards in the top half of the jungle, and H2K hammering away on that top tower.
let's just talk more about Shen. I love Shen support. I think it's so strong in the mid game, because he excels so much in the current meta in terms of setting up tower dives, or obviously defending for ganks. Because what you can do now is, if Rainover takes over, sorry, if Nard takes over the lane and he can push down the rumble, you can so easily coordinate a dive where the Shen just TPs in on Odoamne, taunts Hooney, and that's it. That's a kill for H2K. That's the support doing it. He has great base stats with some of the buffs he's been getting lately, so he's fairly strong, just as an individual champion as well in the early game. Obviously late, his main job is going to be like, can you flash taunt the AD carry? That's why he starts falling off a little bit. But just the global pressure he offers as a support is so insane in the mid game.
And again, knowing the focus that Odoamne may be the target, Odoamne is undefeated in this Narbis split, 4-0. Has been one of the most impressive DPS-focused Nars that we've seen.
Both ultis ready again for Kasing and Rainover.
And Rainover's fully spotted in the jungle.
Mentioned it with the deep wards needed for H2K. All they have to do is just track Rainover over and over. Early side stone. Don't have to upgrade your jungle item yet if you are Lulex. He's one of these very supportive junglers. It's the style he really likes to play. And now we really have to see what Fnatic can do.
So Defisher, and pick some bans, you said if there's deep vision, Rainover's Rengar is going to get read like a book. It's exactly what H2K are doing. What we've also seen from H2K is standard lanes. They've been struggling in lane swaps in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we jinxed them.
And in this lane setup, it's working out. Reckless is caught out. Kasing does not have flash. That may have cost Reckless his life, but he's going to at least Valkyrie away.
Not sure what it is, Trevor, but last split, we had a Telestrator segment on why H2K was so good. I believe it was on 5.4, and they were like,
yep,
best team in Europe.
I remember that, because I'm going to carry the guilt of this.
And then completely slumped for like a few weeks in the Cinderhulk meta and just couldn't figure out how to play. Then we have a Telestrator segment on how they're the best team at lane swapping. They play Fnatic, they lose the lane swap, and the next few weeks they fall behind in every single lane swap. Now we're back to normal though.
So what you're trying to say is Caster Curse is real.
At least against H2K.
You're trying to say it's our fault?
I think it's a Telestrator.
There we go. It's a cursed Telestrator.
I think that's the problem.
The weatherman screen, ladies and gentlemen. We do see Dragon has been started by H2K. 12.5 minutes. Rainover has got smites, however, not going to be in range. And there we go. We do see H2K. Dragon number 1. Holding on 2,000 gold lead. They've got a tower in the middle lane down already.
Just also looking at this Lucian pick for Yanin. I mean, he was so vocal about how strong Jinx was when some of these other AD carries were banned away. talk about it after, because right now, for now, Rainova is looking for potential tower. Like, this is where Alistar is getting super strong. He's going in.
There's the tower dive. They're focusing the global. Kasing's in trouble. Tower has fallen. Teleport's coming in from Huni on the back. Equalizer's not going to do a whole lot, but Rainova's flashed. Reply flash from Kasing. And Fnatic don't get the kills. The European sniper misses a shot. Fnatic do get a tower at the cost of top.
Yeah, we'll trade towers here. This top lane tower would have gone down fairly soon anyway. So Fnatic instead trying to make a play. And when you face these globals, it's so difficult to make plays where they can join in, go gank them instead. They won't be able to do anything using Alistar. And I think Rainova jumped into the tower, so barely got any damage off. But they got the bot lane. This Lucian pick, though, as I was just talking about before, Shen is one of these supports that needs an AD carry that can handle himself, because you need to be able to teleport away and not have an AD carry just sit and die. Jinx wouldn't have been able to do that against Alistar, against a Rengar, so that's where Lucian comes in super handy for them. And also, you're expecting your lane to be ganked, because again, you are the global, gank the global. Lucian with his dash can be very safe in that case. So it's not going to be about Yanan this game here and damage he can deal.
Well, they can't ignore him either, though. Take a quick look at the setup. 20 CS advantage for Oda1 up top. 20 for Ryu in the mid lane, even for the AD carries. And this is some support on support action. Yellowstar's going to headbutt Kasing away.
Insane.
Scariest fight of the game. But confident play from Kasing. The Kasing effect, after joining H2K in week 3, week 4 of Spring Split, has really led H2K to be one of the best teams in Europe. And H2K now going to steal away this blue buff. 0 contest from Fnatic.
Just full control. You even see how just by them invading into the jungle here, they force Reckless and Yellowstar away from the tower. Yeah, Fnatic are trying to go in again, and they pull something off.
That's a flash pulverized! Kasing and Lulex kept out. Lulex is knocked back. He will go down to Rainova, who's now on the board. Fnatic with their first kill. Equalizer in the tri-bush. Shock blast connects.
Look at the mid lane here. H2K will force down to the bottom of the map, so mid lane is open. Fnatic are instantly going to push it.
There was a team that could come back from giving up 2 kills at level 1. It is Fnatic. Punishing H2K for that invade and blue steel. They get their first kill of the game, and they'll put a lot of damage on this tower, but I don't think they'll be able to kill it.
There's an ulti from Yanan to clear it out, but yeah, got a bit of damage on it. Rainova, knowing that his own jungle is completely warded, saying, okay, I'm gonna start just ganking from my lane. I know I can pop my ulti at this tier 2 tower and you won't spot it. And that's how he managed to get in, create a pick for himself. There's no TP for Oda1, so he couldn't join. And I didn't see where Rio was on the map, but a quick kill for Fnatic and some damage. This is what they need to do. I mean, again, Rainova has to be the guy setting up the fights together with Yellowstar over and over and over.
And of course, the one thing that H2K will have a little bit of a difficulty is breaking through those inner turrets. There's a lot of wave clear from Fnatic. Jace and Corki do great. And if H2K group, you can see the power of a flash pulverized from Yellowstar.
But here's the thing though, if you look at the wave clear from Fnatic, Jace has to position himself on the side and like smack the shock blast into the minion wave, meaning he's not gonna hit H2K. That buys time for them to stay and keep the 4v4, because they want to split push with Odo Amne. Jumping him now.
Huni's already gone golden, and he's got caught out. Huni will be dropping, but not before he puts the equalizer out. Rainova's leaped back in with Thrill of the Hunt. Kasing is channeling the Stand United. Rainova's looking for a kill, but I don't think he'll find him. Kasing saves H2K once more.
Look at the bot lane as well.
Soloed by Oda1, and Hyanan is pushing the bottom lane. Fnatic get a tower at the cost of 3 lives.
Big mistake here from Fnatic. Huni, he popped his hourglass. Obviously a misclick from him. And also just the engage coming in. H2K were ready for it. Even though Yanan wasn't there, they knew they could take some of the fight, or they could trade even at least with Fnatic while he was taking the button. Let's see it again. So the take tower, look how H2K is already moving on the map, and they can see Feven in the mid lane. Misclick from Huni, meaning he's an easy target now to take down for H2K. Mega now coming for Odo Amne. Beautiful setup. And meanwhile, while you AD carry, you don't need him. You can clean up, because Feven moving too late. This is not a standard Fnatic play. They're normally the ones already in position with all members at once.
In the pre-game video, Rainova said that he feels Fnatic make less mistakes than their opponents. In the video we heard earlier today, Hooney was saying, even if H2K improve, we can still beat them. Fnatic are 4,000 gold down, on the cusp of losing the longest regular season winning streak Europe has ever seen. If H2K can keep punishing Fnatic.
7 kills to 1. You got the first dragon. It's not going to be about those for quite a while, but H2K straight back into the jungle of Fnatic. They've been spending more time in this jungle than I think Rainover has. And it's what you need to do when you face something like a Rengar. Obviously, the next thing is going to be deep wards in the lanes, which is not something we see very often, but if you look at the mid lane right here, just outside of the screen, you can see a ward placed from H2K. That's again to spot. If Fnatic is ever grouping with this Jace and this Corki, you're going to see Rainover sit very far behind the team in the lane where he doesn't expect there to be a ward. And then that's why he pops his ult. You can see the ward on your screen now, it's caster minions. And then he's going to jump in, and that's what H2K is trying to spot. Because again, if Rainover cannot get in there, Fnatic doesn't have a lot of ways of getting to like Rio, getting to Yarnan.
Somebody from H2K that has a lot of ways to get to Fnatic is Kasing. Stand United almost available. He's got Home Guard, Moby Boots. H2K secure an inner turret in the bottom lane. That's 4th one of the game. Look at the top lane, however. Fnatic's minions are pushing towards H2K. There's no teleport for Loda 1. Somebody needs to go deal with that. Fnatic are not necessarily grouped up.
Fnatic wants to just stop the recalls. They want to see if this minion wave here can do some damage and also get cleared out. Obviously, the minions going to the towers doesn't benefit H2K in any way. So Fnatic doing a very good job just stopping the recalls, trying to buy a bit more time. There's nothing else down here in the bottom of the map to really fight for because there's no dragon. Towers are gone as well. Now Hooney needs to be careful.
He's been taunted! Hooney, they have Hourglass. He's going to have to. Equalizer comes out, saving that cooldown this time round. But Rainover's been caught out. A 2-man knocker from Yellow Star. Look at the shock blast from Feathervin. Shocking the audience, but no kills for Fnatic.
So Fnatic tried to stop H2K from recalling and then just kept moving down, kept trying to bait them potentially into a fight. And then we see this taunt flash you can do on the Shen. Didn't manage to get a kill on Hooney, but Rainover then jumps in and you are this Rengar. There's only one way. I mean, you buy one ticket and you're never gonna get back out. It just goes down. 2 jungle bans and a Gragas first pick against Rainover. Working so far.
Also go back to picks and bans. I think a lot of members of Fnatic have been squeezed. However, Rainover's not been squeezed as hard. Is this the way? Is it unlucky 13 for Fnatic? 21 minutes gone by, 5,000 gold up, 2 towers up, 2 dragons up. And we're in the territory where Fnatic can sneak Barons.
True.
However, they're very far down.
Yeah. And it's normally Fnatic having the vision control at this point where they get these Baron sneaks. Another thing to highlight, we talked very quickly about how the mid-game spike, Corki, Jace, Rumble is fantastic for Fnatic, but because they gave up 2 kills at level 1 and because they've been falling behind further and further, we have barely seen them group and land enough poke from this Jace, from this Corki. We haven't seen them get into proper fights yet. They might be able to get a pick on Lulik though.
Lulex is in trouble. Explosive cast comes out. Equalizes down. Odoamne is back in Mega Gnar. He's going to look for a 2-man knockup, but it's only Rainover and Yellow Star. Feathervin is firing down the shock blast on the side as Yarnan's been zoned away thus far. Kasing lands a taunt. Look at Reckless. He's low on mana, but high on health. Landing auto attacks, flashing forward. The Gatling gun's out. He should find Odoamne for the shutdown.
Oh,
the
nice.
shock blast finds Yarnan. Fnatic have 4 kills, looking for the ace, and there's a peel for Baron.
I'm happy we just talked about how strong the mid-game is for Fnatic, yet even though we didn't get to see them really use it so far, now they gotta fight. Lulex got caught out, Kasing didn't manage to get in time, so it was very uncoordinated for H2K. Suddenly, Fnatic, they do what they do best. They always manage to find ways to come back in the games.
Fnatic punish mistakes fantastically well, in the same way that H2K punished Fnatic. I do want to say, the 2 times Fnatic have found kills and objectives has been punishing H2K's over-eagerness on the invades.
Okay, let's look and see what's going on here. So jump onto Lulex. TP is coming in. I mean, H2K have a lot of members around. It's just so much burst onto Lulex. And now, H2K is split up. If you see outside your screen on the left, Yarnan is there, but Huni is zoning him away. Same can almost be said for Kasing. Meanwhile, Ryu was trying to come down here on the bottom. He goes down. The burst combo from the Jace. And similarly with H2K being split up, it allowed Fnatic to finally get onto these carries. And, you know, as we talk about, they have a fantastic mid game. Rumble, Jace, Corki. You always have to respect the damage they can deal. I mean, Febiven with the combo, just activating his W before changing into hammer form, the insane attack speed. Ryu just gets smacked in the head.
We have a game on. Rainover stood on top of a ward. Kasing's gonna get the taunt. Here comes Odo-Wamne. Hops forward. And Rainover's just gonna go invisible. Great round of applause from the audience as we have a game on our hands. Fnatic had to play from behind against the Giants last week, and they're playing from behind against H2K this week.
And it's gonna be tricky for H2K to try and set up this Baron here, because when against a Corki and even a Jace, there's a lot of ways for Fnatic to like check these bushes here despite not having any vision to see if someone is hiding there for H2K. So you need like multiple layers of wards in the jungle to start baiting the Baron, because if you start the Baron, you're stuck in that pit and a Jace lands a Shock Blast. One Shock Blast is enough to just force you away. Bot lane, Huni's pushing with TP. H2K just want to try and brute force his tower and see if they can get Huni to teleport up.
It looks like they're going to be trading. Kasing has flash available. H2K secure the tower first. Rumble not known for his incredible tower killing speed, but teleport is up as well, so if Huni needs to respond, he can. H2K steal all of the jungle camps and place a metric ton of wards.
They have 0 pings at the moment. Number 1 rule against the Rengar, pings. Number 2 rule against any team in the world, pings. Because you need to also deny vision, otherwise you can't really move anywhere. And for now, H2K have accepted that they're just trading vision with Fnatic. You can see how there's a ward at Baron, there's a ward in the jungle from Fnatic as well.
So dragon number 3, Deficio.
This might be a thing.
Movement
5
speed,
dragons.
Movement speed increase for H2K. Fnatic will be running out of time if they do not pick a fight for the next few Barons. Dragons. Need to clear out the vision. And Shock Blast. And that's where Kasing's HP went. Yellowstone's looking for an engage. Fnatic are split, but they've got to wait for Mega Knock.
Waiting it out. Never disrespect the damage Fnatic can do at this point in the game. Yellowstar is taunted up. Let's see what Lotus can do.
Equalizer comes out. That one's good. The Shock Blast doesn't connect. Fnatic have got the damage focus on Odo-Wamne and Lulex. Odo-Wamne will be going down. Febiven's on a killing spree. 5 versus 4, and Fnatic cannot find more.
Again, it's Fnatic going in. I'm not sure if I said never respect the damage and never disrespect the damage, but don't disrespect it, because Fnatic's mid game is fantastic. Ryu is here, he's full HP, but Lulex is so low. He's going in!
Culling's coming over from the side. Red team Baron! Fnatic get Baron! There's 2 more kills for Huni. It's a double. They're looking for Ryu. We see the Valkyrie available from Reckless. Shock Blast connects. Rainover doesn't connect with the Bowler Strike, nor does the Frost Bomb. And that Death Star laser hurts a lot. Ryu's going to be able to get out, but Fnatic get the first Baron of the game. 26 minutes on the clock, and it's Fnatic with the gold lead.
Fnatic had no answer to a split-pushing Gnar. They had so many more answers though to team fights, and H2K have now multiple times in a row engaged into fights with Fnatic, or at least been in situations where Fnatic could force fights on them, and that's been exactly what they wanted with this Rumble pick. The Jace obviously from Febiven. Yes, Fnatic doesn't get to sit there and land the poke, but they still have such a good all-in in terms of the damage they can do. And H2K just haven't been using this great start for Odo-Wamne.
4, 2, and 5 with the CS advantage. Odo-Wamne has been the man left for dead when those team fights have broken out. Let's also quickly give some praise to Febiven. Hitting the Shock Blasts when they count as these team fights are breaking out. Positioning from Reckless and near Flawless as well. I've not really felt Reckless has been at threat of those flash taunts. It's something you were mentioning from Kasing. Thrill of the hunt. Where is the kitty cat going? The answer is nowhere. Not the most impressive Rengar game from Rainover. He's gonna find Odoamne. Shock Blast looking to control on his Baron empowered minions. He's broken Deficio. Culling comes out to clear the wave. Tower is going to survive for a few seconds longer. So it looks like Lulix wants to clear her out. That's a big chunk off of Ryu. Shock Blast coming out. Minions are conga lining in. Deficio, Fnatic are keeping up the siege.
Yeah, finally Fnatic gets to siege with the composition. We're still only 28 minutes in. There's like a lot more of the things going on, so they have fantastic poke at this point. And overall, for H2K, we mentioned these pink wards before, and I really feel like that's been such a big problem for them. They've never really been able to deny a whole lot of vision away from Fnatic, so Fnatic always had the chance to see, okay, are you out of position? Can we get a potential engage with our Rengar? And they've been using it so well. I mean, full credit to Fnatic for how they've been using that information. But also H2K just honestly slacking a little bit on denying the vision. Look, again for them, no pinks until now, where Rio picks one up, only one upgraded sweeper as well, so simply have not been able to take full control.
Deficio, you're rewriting the League of Legends rulebook, because I thought Rule 1 was never chase a singed, but we'll go with pinks. You can see Daylor and Gambit enjoying the game, as Fnatic are now 4,000 gold ahead. They are the ones in control as we are about to hit 30 minutes. And look at the gold graph. What a story that tells. One team fight Ace, a second team fight then Baron. And Fnatic are where many expected them to be.
It looked so bad for Fnatic. Didn't get to use the mid-game spike at all. Never got the chance to group up because H2K was so strong. They could always just try and fight against them. That the split pushing threat of Odoamne. And then these picks start happening, these team fights in favor of Fnatic in their own jungle as well, because they could just trade the wards with H2K. They used it. Now we're sitting here and we get to see this poke competition start shining. Now they're back where they want to be. As a poke, if you fall behind, it tends to just snowball horribly one way because you cannot really defend yourself, you cannot set up sieges. Now they can. Kasing is gonna flash forward though. Taunt forward. Same thing.
Do you see the Valkyrie away from Reckless? He's trying to be zoned out. Yellow Star's on the front line. Booney's overheating, so there's no equalizer, but they've killed Kasing. There's the Chaos Storm as the Gravity Field stuns up a few members of Fnatic. Fnatic are grouped. Reckless is chunked low. Not low enough. Featherman continues to throw out those shock blasts. Despite the lead that Odoamne got, despite the early items, he's just not dealing enough damage. And he's not playing the map with the advantage he had. It feels like H2K continuing to try to play the invade teamfight game.
Right.
And it hasn't worked.
It's not about the damage for Odoamne, obviously. He is the tank on the team together with Lulix, but you're right. He's not been playing the map. He's not been able to set up the split push he wanted with this Frozen Mallet build as well for himself. But Rainover, I mean, criticized him before with this Rengar, but he's been such a big part of these picks lately for Fnatic. 4 dragons though for H2K. They are behind in gold now, 5k, but they got 4 dragons to 0. The next one is going to be the big jackpot. Can Rainover and the rest of Fnatic continue finding these picks? Because, as we just said here, poor start. He was shut down early on this Rengar, but he's really redeemed himself. Whenever Fnatic have won a fight, it's often been with Rainover jumping in and starting everything.
Fnatic have a lead in gold, a lead in towers, marginal. But they are down 4 dragons. With Baron coming up in a minute, you can already see the priority from teams looking to clear the vision out, looking to gain vision control. And unless H2K play this one correctly, they may be losing a battle.
Only has to go back and clear out this bot lane wave. H2K build up a pretty big one that was slow pushing in, so just recall forward, has teleport ready. Odoamne does not, so set up a slow push now if you are Fnatic, and then you can start grouping around Baron and land this poke. You don't want to start the Baron necessarily. You want to have H2K trying to move in and like place a few wards themselves, try and spot you if you are doing the Baron, and then you start landing this poke out of vision against H2K where they have no real way of dodging it, and they're just stuck always trying to face check into Fnatic where they have full vision of them, while Huni can be a split pushing threat. So we might see H2K just try and force Baron itself to start the Baron to try and force Huni to teleport away. But that's also super risky because then we have all this AoE damage coming from Fnatic in terms of poke. So very, very tough situation for H2K where there's no real great play to make.
Look at the poke coming out from Fnatic. H2K managed to bully their way into the river, clear out some wards, get a pink down in that death bush in the middle of the river. Kasing's got one more pink in his inventory and his flash available. Shadow dash flash engage available for H2K. See what they do. Ryu just gets chunked down. Look at Kasing on the front line. Don't want to be there if you don't have your mid lane available for a team fight.
Remember, there's cleanse for February, so he should not be the target for the Shen taunt. Instead, you want Reckless or maybe Huni if you can take him down before the Hourglass. But Fnatic now, because they've been landing so much poke, they know H2K have been forced to back away, and they just start the Baron now.
Culling comes out from Kion and he's a little split from his team. H2K in position. Baron number 2 secured. Equalizer comes out and Odowan is down already. Lulex is looking for Feathervin, but he's not going to find him. Rainova leaps in. We see a flash for Flash. Yellowstar chasing Kasing. 3 members of H2K are down. Fnatic have a Baron. Yellowstar setting up yet another kill for Fnatic, and Rainova, he's bounced back from a horrid start. And Fnatic will have an uncontested inhibitor turret for at least 25 seconds.
And just great play all around from Fnatic in setting up this Baron. How they're just dancing around it. They wait for H2K to move close, then they land the poke. And once H2K is forced back to their own base, well, then you just start rushing in this Baron here for Fnatic. I mean, if you can't even beat them when you get 2 kills at level 1, who's going to stop Fnatic? 2 kills at level 1 for H2K. 7-1 later on in the game, and yet here we are.
If Fnatic close it out, that drop down just told us they will tie the longest standing LCS winning record in the regular season. With 2 lanes of super minions, with Baron empowered minions, and with a whole lot of momentum and tempo. Fnatic are showing there's very little they cannot do.
And H2K have been getting so little gold the last many minutes. They've been getting the Dragon, sure, but need to get number 5 to really benefit from these stats. If we look at it, like we mentioned, Frozen Mallet, Random Zoman from NR. I feel like that's 10 minutes ago. Ever since, there's not been a complete item. I mean, sure, he's gotten a Chain West, and that's been about it. Odam has been completely shut down in terms of gold, in terms of income for himself. Not even close, really, compared to what Fnatic's been picking up. Febman has the fantastic Infinity Edge. Pop your W on this Jace, turn into hammer form and just destroy people.
Let's see how many shock blasts Feathervin can land. Kasing's actually going to dash into that one. Odoamne, he's chunked a little bit. He's got that Elixir of Iron. Minion wave is being cleared out efficiently, but look at the supers. They're not in the base yet. 25% of Baron left for Fnatic, and they poked Kasing down. So if this Stand United comes in, it will be low. Culling used to try and clear this wave. Reckless is getting a few auto attacks down. Yanin is going to dash forward aggressively. Odoamne is going to go Mega Gnar. Does not have flash available. Will get hyper in a moment. Is going to try stun up Huni. We see Rainova is splitting up H2K's focus, and Odoamne is down. Lulex follows quickly thereafter, and Fnatic find a third. That's a double kill for Reckless as Huni goes for another. 4 members of H2K are down. The supers are into the base. In the European LCS, every team fights one another, but it's Fnatic that end up winning 13-0. They equal